Now, this topic that I will disclose, most of you will most likely not have heard, or rather, there are a selection of people that definitely have heard this, but I'm kind of making this like an introduction so that the people who don't know about it can be a part of the club. Now, I'm not sure if there's a lot of speculation in regards to that, but in terms of Miraculous Ladybug Season 6, oh my... Okay, so pretty much this entire video is just me going on a rant from what I have known about the series and what I felt in terms of the series. So please do not take me seriously, as some of this might be false. I'm just pulling this out and I'm just going as I go further, and I definitely should have done a lot more research on this, or rather, I don't know what research I could have done for this video to talk about Miraculous Ladybug Season 6. So, other than that, let's get right into it. The first thing is the animation style. It's decent. I'll grow out of it. Story-wise, it's an episode of the week. I feel like it's mainly focused on specific characters and them entirely. It's sort of like an introductory video, or rather an episode where you introduce the characters and talk about them more, versus what the entire shebang is supposed to be about. But the thing I'm disappointed about is what they put in them. Clarification, it's how they do it. Okay, first off, let's talk about one of the episodes. And the one that I can pick up on that I pretty much remember is Revelator. Dun, dun, dun. That's the first one that comes to mind. And in regards to Revelator, it mainly focuses on Adrian and Marinette as a couple and them being bad-mouthed for... Long story short, it's rumors about... If I can find the right words, please, Lord. It's about Marinette not actually being a good person and is trying to take advantage of Adrian to some capacity, I guess. And it's not the right way to do it. In fact, you should have focused it on like a different perspective. But it goes on in another branch of other things. And other than that, the one thing that just popped in my head, why isn't this dude arrested? Because we're dealing... Listen to me talk over to this one. So, within this statement, I probably wouldn't wish that upon anybody, but watching the episode, it made me think of that for some reason. But either way, this is the rest of the rant. Couple. At this point, he should have been on like a predator list. The fact that he's been taking footage about like herself, her family, as well as twisting lies and making them a truth to some capacity, and just bad-mouthing him in general. Like, that's not the way you should do it. Like, oh my goodness gracious. Okay, first off, you should do it with like an inside person, and I'm pretty sure you should have not done it through social media, and I don't know why you picked out this specific couple. I mean, you could have done it like with a famous celebrity. It would make more sense for an influencer to do that with that. And also, though it could work between an influencer trying to make some form of profit out of like a teenage couple, at the same time you're dealing with a teenage couple, which I'm pretty sure has not been publicly announced in public to where the entire city knows about it, so that this person can profit off it. Like, I could rant about it, but like that's one thing that I'm kind of sticking with in regards to this argument, because it seems like they're sticking on one problem that somehow affects Marinette personally, and just making her in the end look like a good guy, in which I'm not sure if that's what the goal was, but evidently so, then yeah. And now, as I just think about the last episode, or rather, the last cutscene, or last scene before we get into the credits of the episode, that should have made some form of spark. Towards the ending of the scene, we're going to go towards the end of the fight here, where she finds out that, or rather, she finds out that Ladybug has been lying to Cat Noir for a long time, and I'm not sure if she's actually going to tell him at any point of given time, or rather, he's going to find out until by some form of means, like, let's say there's an Akuma that is somehow related to him in terms of he or she knows about like his past or something like that, and then goes for like a hoax, and goes like a hoax concept or something like that, and basically tells him that she has been lying to you, the fact that your dad has been a great dad, or something along those lines. You should have made that an episode for season 6. But with that considered, okay, so I'm just thinking about it right now in terms of Revelator, and at this point I'm just going to be talking about Revelator for like the majority of the video. With this very clip, I unfortunately cannot show you the clip because I don't own the clip, but you can watch it on like YouTube or whatever means necessary that you can watch Miraculous Ladybug season 6, Revelator. And like, when has Cat Noir had the abilities to erase people's memories? And why did you, out of all people, have to tell him to do that to this person? It would have made the story much more interesting if she kept those memories. In fact, it would have been more interesting if she knew it since season 4. I think that's one out of countless pieces of evidence of why we don't like this character. The fact that she has this quirky behavior to where it bled into a creepy disorder, and the fact that as a civilian, but as a hero, has become more and more to where I can't necessarily describe it, but at this point we just don't hate, we just hate, well, some people hate Miraculous Ladybug to some extent because of her character. And we'll just end this section with this. First off, that should have been like the video, well actually, I feel like that was already the stamp saying like, this is the part of the story where Alia gets a deep dive into both Adrien and Marinette as individual people and figure out what is going on within the circle. Rather, what does she know about him that she can't tell him, or rather, it's long story short, what's the deep dark secret? What's going on? That's all I'm saying. Now we're gonna go for like a little bit of just some interesting things that I've kind of touched on. Artist Adrien Agreste, but to be honest, I feel like I should make Adrien Agreste as a whole a different video, and the reason why I say that is because there are some things that I want to talk about him as a character, both civilian and hero alike, as well as I feel like I want to do a little bit of research for this video. So with all that being considered, Adrien Agreste is about the next video, or the next video is about Adrien Agreste and why he should have been the main character of the entire franchise itself. I don't know why or rather, I'm not going to complain the fact that the show is centered about a 14-year-old who's often clumsy, quirky, and has the responsibility of a superhero that has to basically has to defeat a person with a pendant who has the ability to turn other people into villains that want their jewels. Anyways, that's the video for now, and I'll get back to you with the Adrien Agreste video. Part of it is going to be just an emotional spiel, but I want to just pull a few pieces of evidence from that I probably would have researched And with that being considered, have a lovely day, ladies and gentlemen, and I will see you in the next video.